Hello. I just wanted to welcome you to the team, a Jubilant Nation. And I am your upline coach. And I have been coaching since July of 2016. And I'm very excited to have you join the team. I just wanted to welcome you and tell you a little bit about what is going to take place in the next 3 months. And I remember very clearly back to when I joined coaching and how overwhelming it was, because you're learning all this new information. And I compare it to, I have another job in the medical field, and when you get a new job, and I'm sure it varies from job to job, but especially in a hospital system, I had like 3 days where I'm like parked at HR watching video after video and training after training and taking all these little quizzes, and it was a lot of information. And that's just the like corporate level stuff. And then you get to your actual job site and you have to have a period of training and like huge checklists of all the things you need to learn from your job. Well, coaching, it has a lot to learn. And the nice thing is you don't have to have any special degrees or background or anything to do this. We will provide you with all the tools you need. But when you first start learning it, it can seem so overwhelming. So take a deep breath, give yourself time for it to sink in, give yourself lots of grace and be patient. I would say that it took a good 3 months before some of the terms really start to make sense. And there's some stuff that I still don't quite understand after over a year. So what I am really striving to do, and that I'm going to bring you through in the next month or 3 months, is to streamline the process and make it as easy as possible. The reason why you're going to hear some of the same subjects over and over again is because the repetition of hearing them is what will make them start to sink in. The first time I heard about Success Club, I was like, what is this? But like I said, when you are learning all this stuff, it will just start to click after hearing it after so many times. But I would advise you to keep some notebooks laying around. These little journals are my best friend. I have them hidden all over the house, even still. And I write down stuff whenever I hear it that I want to remember, or when I have an idea, or when I have a question. I'm filling these journals all the time. So I would suggest getting some journals, pads of paper, index cards, whatever your preference is, and just keep one in your purse, in your car, at your work, in your kitchen, by your bed. Put them everywhere. The next thing you're going to want to do is contact your upline, whether it's me or someone else on my downline, and you're going to want to schedule a call to either talk to them one-on-one, or sometimes they do group calls. I'm going to be doing a group call if you're in my downline, where you will have a video to watch, and then an opportunity to hop on with me and follow up the video with some questions live. Before we set up that call, make sure that you're thinking about your goals and where you want to go with this business, and you're allowed to dream really big. When I started, I didn't dream very big because I didn't know what I was capable of. Honestly, I signed up for the discount, and even in the beginning, I just watched these other coaches and I thought, I could never do that. And then as I did, I was like, oh, I guess I can dream a little bigger. So I would suggest just shoot for the moon. And be thinking about that, because that's one of the things we're going to talk about. You have to remember that this is a business and you are the CEO of this business, which means you don't have a boss. My husband always jokingly calls my uplines my bosses. And I'm like, really? They're not. They're like mentors, but not my boss. What that means is they're not responsible for how hard you work or how much you get paid or how many people you help. You are responsible for that. And you're going to learn a lot about how to do those things, but only you can actually do them. So what you need to do is come up with goals, and then you're going to have to follow some sort of schedule to keep yourself on track for those goals. And we'll totally teach you all those things that you need to do, how to implement them, but take ownership of it. If you want something, then you're going to have to ask a question, find out, and work for it, okay? I can't read everybody's minds, and I can provide as much information as I can assume that you would probably need, because I've been through it before. But you're going to still have questions that are different than I had and different than maybe other coaches. So you have to make sure you ask someone if you have a question. The other thing you want to connect with your upline about is when their new coach training is. So my coach training is now going to be running every single month from the beginning of the month through the end of the month. And it's self-guided, and it's going to have a ton of information. And like I said, it's all going to teach you all the steps you need for success. And we're going to, iron it out over a month so that you don't get too overwhelmed with too much too fast. But it'll sort of be self-directed so that if you have more time and you want to move faster through it, you can. But you'll have at least a month to go through it. And then you would move on to phase 2. Depending on when you are watching this video and when you signed on, if there's some time before the next coach training starts, this is what I would suggest. I would suggest going on to your coach online office, which when you log on to teambeachbody.com, under the coach tab, there will be your coach online office. And I would suggest exploring there. There's a get started here tab, and just do a little digging. And there's plenty of information to glean, and just write down questions as they come up. The other thing you want to do is start listening to National Wake Up Calls. It's a podcast. It's available. You can listen live. It happens every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I sucked those up when I was a baby coach. I listened to hours and hours of them. I would listen while I cooked. I would listen while I cleaned. I would listen while I drive. I pretty much, and I went backwards and listened to old ones. So I pretty much listened to like a year and a half of them in like a month's time. And there were so many good tips, and I took so many notes from those, and I really think that helped jumpstart my business. So we're going to be talking to you a lot about doing personal development. And in the beginning, it's a little bit more like professional development because you're trying to learn the business. So I would suggest just starting with National Wake Up Calls and listening to as many as you can. The other thing to participate in it is team calls. Now, you will be invited to any calls I do, but also our upline team calls as well. And those are a video conference call where somebody is teaching something and you can listen in, and then you usually get a chance to ask questions. They're very informative. They're just like the National Wake Up Calls. It's usually on a topic related to growing your business. So I would suggest hopping on as many of those as you can live. because live is better because you can participate, but if you can't, you can always catch the replays. And the last thing is to start sharing on Facebook. And no matter where you are, if you've just started your transformation, if you can talk about how, a picture of you with your challenge pack and be like, I just started doing this workout and it's super fun. If you've already been doing it a while and have a before and after, share it on Facebook. Start showing healthy recipes that you're trying. Talk about how you're drinking water. If you start to talk about those things, then you'll be more comfortable, and you'll start to get people who kind of know what you're up to, so that when you go to invite to your first challenge group, it's not coming out of the blue. So those are the things to work on as you're waiting to join your Coach Basics group. The other things I just want to tell you is to have fun. Most of us are in this business because we love what we do. We really, really are passionate about helping others. I named my like page a Jubilant Life, and then in turn named my team a Jubilant Nation, because I was not jubilant before. And as I've started to transform my health and my fitness, I have found so much joy in helping others, in sharing my struggles, in going through this process with other people. And I just want that to be what comes out from you and what you're giving to others. They want to hear the good, bad, and the ugly. It's okay if it's not always full of joy, but oftentimes people will be able to relate to that and experience joy in knowing that you have that community with other people. Don't let all the overwhelming information become stressful. This is meant to be fun and to bring you joy. So if you're feeling bogged down, let your upline know. We can take a step back. We can simplify it as much as we can. I wanted to welcome you guys again. I'm so excited to have you on the team. I'm here to help you with any questions and concerns that you have, and I'm ready to rock this business with you. Hope you're having a fabulous day, and welcome again.